Hi, welcome to our channel. This is Stacy with Stalking Horse. We're going to talk today about remote work, what it's like to be a remote coder, and is remote work for you? So if you've been in the field for a long time and have always wondered, hey, can I do that? Or if you're just getting into coding and want to know, can you work from home or how does that work? This is the video for you. So make sure you stay tuned to hear all about remote work. Hi, welcome back. Stacy again. So we're going to talk about remote work. Basically, right now, remote coding has been exploding, and the main culprit to that is COVID-19. But prior to COVID, it was steadily growing as well, that remote work environment. Because basically what you need to be able to perform coding are your coding books, so such as your ICD-10 coding book, in your CPT and your HCPCS book, or ICD-10 PCS if you're doing hospital stuff. So you need your coding books, you need computer access, internet access, and you need to be able to access documentation or records to be able to do coding remotely. So essentially, it's not that difficult from a technical perspective to be able to do it from home. You do need to make sure you have the security measures in place, of course, for HIPAA and everything else. Other than that, though, really, from a technical perspective, it's not that bad. So then we talk about, is remote work really good for you? A lot of people, I can't even stress how many people have been like, oh, I want to work from home because I have my little ones at home and then I don't have to have them in daycare, or I could do all these other things while I'm working from home. That is absolutely the wrong way to think. Let me tell you, I never work harder than when I'm working from home. I don't have time for literally anything else. If I tried to put a load of laundry in, you know that it would sit in that washer for like all day and then smell by the end of the day because I wouldn't get back to it to change the load. When you work from home, you work harder. There's no separation between time with work and home. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very structured. You have to know when to start, when to stop. If you have the opposite personality is what I have, and perhaps you have that difficult time getting started or staying on the task, those everyday distractions can be terrible. So having a child at home or a ton of chores to do, just different distractions, will pull you away from your work, and your quality and your productivity will really plummet. So again, like, working from home is not good if you don't have that proper schedule set. That remote work can be absolutely terrible. Other thing to consider is interaction with others. So many people are social and really crave that interaction between one another, and also the ability to be able to ask a coworker about a particular question, maybe a coding problem. And so that's kind of gone, or a little bit more difficult when you work remote. You much more rely on technology, so you need to be able to use more like WebEx, Skype, Zoom, those types of things, and have phone calls. So if you have questions, it's more difficult to get the answer. You can't just lean over and say, hey, Susie, do you know how to, whatever? The person's not there, so you're literally by yourself. So for new coders, it's super important for you to realize that. It may sound grand to be able to work from home, but in reality, when you're just starting out, it's extremely difficult, and you have to be so disciplined in order to be great at it. Also, the tools that you have at your disposal between an office and at home, you have to think about that. If you have a home office set up, is it spacious enough? Is it comfortable? Do you have space for however many monitors you need to use? Some people, I don't know how they can function with just using one monitor. I literally have 3 here at my office, and then at home I have minimum of 2. Even when I travel with a laptop, I have an extra monitor. I cannot function with one monitor. I just can't. My productivity just goes down. Having at least 2 monitors is essential for me. So thinking about that setup at home as well is important. Do you have enough space? Do you have privacy? Do you have quiet? Do you have structure? Do you have all of the equipment laid out and room for your books as well? You may also need to tote your books from home office to the work office if you're kind of one of those people that go back and forth. I am one of those. Sometimes I work from my office, sometimes I work from my home office. So I have to transfer information sometimes from one place to another. Transfer materials, that can become a little bit difficult. So I actually end up buying myself 2 sets of books so that I don't have to lug everything around. But anyway, so remote work may or may not be for you. Just think about it. Remember that you need to stay focused on your productivity, your quality, and that work-life balance is super important. And so really consider whether or not, working remote will be best for you and be best for your work and in the place in your career where you are. Again, perhaps if you're more experienced and it's not very often that you bounce questions off of others, maybe you feel more comfortable working from home. Versus if you're newer and you still have a lot of questions to ask, that may not be best for you. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment in the chat. If you have any recommendations or requests for future topics, please place them below in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our page so that you don't miss out on future videos. And just remember, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth.